sant yàlla.
looy xaar utal Wave nga scan nga fay te nag doo ci yokku dara.
Jar Oil, the company, have filling stations across the country, and our rates are relatively cheaper than anyone else across the country. Jar Oil is the biggest producer and distributor of cement in the country with the most competitive prices in the market.
In the Gambia, we all move to different paces. Time is money, convenience is power, and now both are in your hands. No more long lines, no more late payments, no more missed chances, not anymore. Because now the Gambia has its own super app, Zap. One app, one tap, endless convenience. Send money instantly, pay your bills in seconds, shop without borders, pay your rides, order your meal, buy your ticket, deposit and withdraw money for absolutely free. No extra charges, no hidden fees, only on Zap Super App. This is not just convenience. This is confidence. This is the future in your hands. And the best part, Zap is born right here. Built for us, designed for every Gambian home, every Gambian dream. So don't wait in the past. Step into the future. Download Zap today on App Store and Play Store and enjoy endless free services. Call us today on our toll-free number 1666 or on 260-0001. Zap, all in one, all for you. Tap in, zap in.
It's Tuesday, the 27th of January 2026, and you're with Coffee Time with Peter Gomez. It's 12 minutes past 9 o'clock, so it's time for our Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services, Dr. Ismaila Ceesay. He appears on the program every week to discuss pressing issues of governance and communication. Doc, welcome.
Good morning, Peter.
Where do you buy your jackets?
At different locations.
Different locations.
Sometimes I go to Ghana Marse in Sarakunda.
Ghana Marse, come on. This was not from Ghana
Well,
Marse.
it's possible.
Huh?
It's possible.
Anyway, welcome back.
Thank
Lots
you.
to talk about today. All right?
Yes.
Start with your updates. What's there to update
Well,
the
I
people
think
on?
I have a few updates. One of them has to do with the 2026 moratorium on the importation of potatoes and onions, which was released by the Ministry of Trade.
Okay.
That is announcement on the commencement of the 2026 moratorium on the importation of onions and potatoes. The Ministry of the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment hereby notified the general public, especially importers, exporters, traders, and the farming community, that the 2026 moratorium on the importation of onions and potatoes will take effect from 1st March 2026 and end in June 2026 for onions and end July for potatoes, subject to extension. Now, this measure is in accordance with the National Trade Policy, which seeks to strengthen domestic agricultural production, enhance food security, and support local farmers to access domestic market during peak harvest periods to minimize post-harvest losses. So this is one of our government policies to support local producers, local growers of potatoes and onions.
So you know what will happen now against March? The importers will try to bring in as much potato and onion as possible, you know, so that by the time, you know, this moratorium comes into existence, whatever was, you know, to be sold, you know, put out onto the market locally will have no room.
Well, if you understand the supply chain
Yes.
dynamics, you understand that from now to March, it's almost, I'm not saying impossible, it's going to be challenging for someone to flood the market with potatoes and onions, knowing the time it takes to put in orders, the time to take in for you to transport the potatoes or to come to the Gambia, the time it takes to clear from the ports. We have almost a month to 1st of March, clearly a month and a few days. It's not possible, practically speaking, understanding supply chain mechanism for you to do that. Had it been that at least the moratorium was announced 3 months earlier, then we could say that it's possible. But the window is too short for someone to.
So the timing is deliberate.
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
whether it's deliberate or
Who
not.
should we talk to? Alaji Mod?
Alaji Mod is the right person to talk to
He's easy to reach.
On this one. Exactly.
What about Gambians who worry that this has come literally on the eve of Ramadan?
Well, I don't think it will have any. In fact, I think the experience has it that prices will go down because, like I said, here production is seasonal, and this is the time when local production happens. And my experience is that around this time, the price of onions and potatoes go down because there's a lot in the local market. And now to protect local producers, local growers, so then of post-harvest loss, we need to protect them. Therefore, at this period, as in line with the policy, there's a moratorium for a short period to make sure they are also able to sell their products.
Okay, all right. And you expect locally produced onions and potatoes to cost a bit less than the imported?
Yes, because the ministry,
varieties.
the government, through the ministry, normally has an arrangement with the local growers to peg the price at a certain level and not to go above that. They are protected by government through a moratorium, so they also have to make sure that prices are not unusually high. So there's this arrangement and this agreement between the government and the producers.
A moratorium alone may not be enough. I mean, is there subsidy as well?
I'm not sure about a subsidy. What I know is that there is an agreement between the government and the producers to peg the price at a particular level so that nobody takes advantage of the market. Also, there are no artificial prices. Yeah,
because the people, who get fertilizer subsidies are the groundnut farmers.
Yeah. So they don't get. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, they don't get the subsidy. There are no subsidies for this one, but at least where we can protect them is to ensure that their products they're able to sell their products. We provide a local market for them, so they're not able to compete with the imported one. So for that window, that's a moratorium. They're able to sell their products at a price which is also in line with the market price.
So we should see a lot of positivity in this.
Of course, as usual, there's always been a positivity about it. I've not seen any.
It's not every government decision that is.
What I'm saying, it's not the first time. It's not the first year. It's been happening every year, and we've not had any serious problems with it.
All right.
Yeah. Now the other one has to do with this Songhai initiative.
Songhai.
Yes, the Gambia Songhai initiative. It's a youth initiative that trains young people with practical skills in the North Bank region. They've graduated 47 Gambians after 1 year intensive training in modern and climate smart agriculture, including 21 women and 21 men, 27 women, 2 persons with disabilities, and 1 migrant returnee. This graduation took place on Saturday at the Songhai initiative in Chairman.
Is this an initiative supported by the government?
Yes.
Can you give us some background, because some of us might be hearing about the Songhai initiative for the first time?
It is a very popular initiative.
Is it?
Why it gives young people the chance to go for 1 year intensive training in different skills. It could be agriculture, it could be poultry, and where they also have a poultry there, and they sell eggs as well through this initiative.
You're doing marketing for them. All I
and
want
young
to know
people,
is, how does the government support them?
Through the Ministry of, I'm not sure where the financing coming from. I think it's different donor partners that they are working with that does the financing plus government financing. But the idea is to make sure young people are giving these skills in agriculture and poultry, and when they are done, they're also given some cash money to go and start their own business, sometimes as a group or sometimes as individuals.
Okay. And you made a point of stressing that there was at least one backway returnee.
Yes.
Why was it important to highlight that?
It's to show that our policy of reintegrating migrant returnees is also working. It is part of those policies, because when they come back, we have to reintegrate them back into society by building them skills and giving them the opportunities. So this was a conscious decision to include them also as part of this initiative.
We had one on the program earlier, Ceesay, a backway returnee, when he left, to try his luck at entering Europe. He was already a university student, he told us. When he came back, he's tried to get back into the uni and continue his education, but he's struggling with funding, and he was reaching out to the Ministry of Higher Education. Is there a policy for or on backway returnees?
There's no such policy as far as I know, as far as university is concerned. But I think if he was a university student and he had good grades, I think he wouldn't find it difficult to get a scholarship from Ministry of Higher Education, because currently we are giving scholarships over 40% of.
He has been enrolled. His problem is getting money to finance his education.
Well, he can apply for a scholarship at the Ministry of Higher Education. We are sponsoring over 40% of the students currently at UTG from different backgrounds. So I think it's for him to ensure that he's got an acceptance letter, that he's been re-enrolled back into the university, and that letter is available. And then he can just apply for a scholarship. And I see no reason why he shouldn't be given a scholarship. We are giving other Gambian, young Gambians, the same scholarships that are attending the university.
Could he be an example, to other backway returnees, probably blessed with the same level of intellect as he is?
Of course, I think it's a good example. Also a good role model to say, hey, if you come back, you can still go back to UTG. I know that to get to UTG you need 5 credits, but perhaps based on data we are having, the majority of those who take the back way are not people with 5 credits. He is an exception, perhaps. But I think also the ministry, this is a good idea. Perhaps Prof. Gomez is listening to take note, to give some kind of consideration to people like this, to encourage them to stay in this country and be role models. So I think this is a very good idea.
Yeah, because they could be used in the campaign against the back way.
Yeah.
People who left believing that the world was beyond the boundaries of the Gambia.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
got hit with reality and came back and,
Yeah.
picked up, the pieces.
I agree.
See where they are now.
Totally agree.
All right.
The final update, electricity launching project. It's going to be a very busy week for the president. Next month, there's a particular week when he'll tour the country.
Yeah, it's February. We always know that presidents are always busy in February.
So he'll inaugurate electricity projects in 8 districts. The projects will be inaugurated beginning February 7 to 15, starting in Lower Nyomi, with rollouts across other districts in North Bank, Lower River Region, URR, CRR, West Coast Region. Villages included communities such as Darussalam, Saraseti, Kohel, Fonkoy Kunda, Medina Fonkoy, and Medina Kanikunda have been incorporated into the ECOWAS Regional Electricity Access Project. Now, the national ambition is the government has reaffirmed its commitment to achieving universal electricity access by the end of 2026, ensuring that even remote villages are connected. Now, this booklet here is called the Meet the People Tour Report 2025.
So there's a report finally on the Meet the People Tour.
That's a report that is a comprehensive report that not only gives us an overview of national progress in different sectors. When I talk about explosive development, and I mean it, if you look at this booklet, not only that, but also it talks about the requests made by different communities with the data and the response to government. From Central River, North Bank, the challenges they face, government response, key sectors. You go to Central River Region, the same thing, community challenges, government response, key sectors. Upper River Region, Lower River Region, Kanifing Municipality, West Coast Region, even private sector issues, Banjul, business action, all this. But for me, the most important that I want to highlight today is key national progress.
Okay.
On the part of the economy, year-on-year inflation has gone down by 3.6%. September 2024, our inflation rate was 10%. September 2025, it was 7.4%. It has gone down since then as well. This data was from 2024 September.
Just turn the cover over again. Let me see. It says what? Just hold it up to the cameras. Meet the People's Tour Report 2025.
Yes.
Why are we talking about, inflation rate going down and all of that?
No, the thing is that the report is preceded by a national overview of national progress. So we have the report at the back, and the first two pages is the national progress across all sectors. Yeah. And
it one was like, I was going to say, in that case, it should be renamed to State of the Nation Report 2025.
No. So if you look at the report here, from that, then the report starts here.
Okay.
Community request during the tour, how government responded and all that. But before the report, it just gave an overview of national progress. From the economy, for example, on water expansion, 68 communities were supplied with water, 82,000 beneficiaries, and these all were inaugurated in 2025 as part of the tour. 120 water systems were established, 127 communities with 186,500 beneficiaries. This was from 2018 to 2025. This is a massive expansion of access to water and water supply in the Gambia since President Barrow came to power. And you look at the economy, like I said, inflation has gone down. You go to youth and women empowerment, youth not in employment, education or training, it has also gone down from 43% in 2023 to 41% in 2025. There's progress there. Now, when it comes to government investments in youth interventions, $250 million has been invested.
$250
million in youth, and then $95 million is plus disbursed to date as part of the Women Enterprise Fund. Now, for social protection, 29,260 low-income households have received money, but also 5,410 vulnerable groups cash transfer beneficiaries to the NAFA project across the country. Now, when it comes to improved education, we have solar-powered 162 schools, and then we have built 424 new schools since 2017, 424 newly constructed schools, 204 school kitchens constructed from 2017, 104 computer labs constructed from 2017 to date, 32 science and technical lab constructed from 2017 to date, 6,010 classrooms, school toilets constructed from 2017 to date, 1,928 staff quarters constructed, 11,000 classrooms built, 211 classrooms built per year from 65 to 2016. Under President Barrow is 805.
From 1965 to 2016, it was how many?
211,000 from 65.
Yes.
To date.
65 would be
2016.
Yeah, 65 would be 1965.
211 classrooms built per year.
When we gained independence.
Yes, to 2016.
Yes.
211 classrooms built per year.
Okay.
Under Barrow, 805 classrooms built per year. That's a huge expansion of access to education.
More than 4 times.
Yes, access to education, expanding it. Electricity, total meters connected from 56 to 2016 is 195,000.
From 56 or 65?
From 56.
Oh,
the data we have. Yes, from 1956 to 2016, 195,244 meters were connected in the country. But from 2017 to date, 2025, 203,000 meters were connected. So in almost 60 years, 195,000 meters connected.
And do we have electricity running through all those meters?
Of course. That is why the meters are there. And recently you've seen electricity expansion. Every day you hear, every yesterday was Jara Sutukung, it was Barokunda, every day.
It's been suggested that in some villages, okay, they hook up the meters, they have electricity for maybe 1 or 2 hours, and it's gone.
No, that's not happening. That's just politics. We've also spent $1 billion is government subsidy on electricity in 2025 alone. What you pay per kilowatt when you buy the cash power is not what you're supposed to pay. Government is subventing. It's supposed to be more than that.
Why is government subsidizing?
Because it's expensive, and we know that most Gambians cannot afford it. That's why we are subventing electricity, just like we are subventing petrol in the pumps, just like we are subventing agriculture as well, fertilizer, seeds, and so on and so forth. We're also subventing. That's
understandable. There are countries that have subsidies for their farmers, but electricity consumption.
Yeah, because what happens is that we have to do it, because otherwise it's going to be more expensive for Gambians. So it has a trickle effect as well. If electricity is expensive, every other thing becomes expensive, just like fuel in the pump. If it's expensive, everything, because most services and products rely on availability on the price of electricity as a part of operational costs.
It affects those in the business sector. They should be able to pay for their electricity.
No, but they pass it on to the consumers. If you have a business and you produce something, part of your operational cost is passed on to consumers. So if you pay less in electricity, it also has an effect on the consumers.
Subsidize electricity.
We also help citizens as well to have an extra money in their pocket, apart from increasing their salaries. That is why our approach we all knew as a government that the so-called cost of living crisis that rocked that
so-called cost of living crisis, it is a cost of living crisis that we are facing.
It is, of course. Yeah. And when I say so-called, I'm not minimizing.
Oh, you are minimizing.
No, I'm not. Is the name given to it? So cost of living crisis that rocked the world after COVID. Many governments had to have a strategy in terms of having a cushion. It doesn't impact the population. We had multiple approaches. One was to increase salaries of civil servants by almost 110%. 2 is to make sure we subsidize fuel. Today, in West Africa, we have the cheapest fuel cost in the sub-region apart from Nigeria.
Some people question the quality of the fuel that comes into this country compared to other countries.
Well, cars are running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they would say too that's why they're not lasting, the number of years they're
But
supposed to
the
last.
suppliers that come to supply, the same that supply most parts of West Africa, that is our fuel. They don't. We don't have the capacity to bring these big vessels here, so they come to Gambia and supply us. They supply the countries as well. The traffickers, they don't supply only Gambia. So and there's quality control for these fuels as well. So I don't think we have below par standard fuel coming into this country. I don't accept that.
That's a good assurance.
Now, $1 billion is government subsidy. Currently, 75% of the country is connected. And
you wanted 90%.
Yeah, I say by end of 2025, we are reaching 90% now. We're heading towards.
You're supposed to have hit 90%
in
2025.
We've reached it because according to the
data
here,
that was what the president promised.
We might have reached it.
Connectivity by the end of 2025. We are 27 days into 2026.
We're heading towards it.
Okay. Okay.
And then roads. 855 kilometers of new roads, including rural, feeder, and urban roads were built from 65 to 2016. That is 36% of current road networks. From 2017 to date, we've built 1,200 kilometers of roads. And in 2025, we are going to build an additional 870 kilometers of new roads as well. So then we have agriculture, health, for ambulances finally.
Ambulances?
Yes, we had 60 ambulances as of 2016, only 60 running across the country. Now we have 170 ambulances from 2017 to 2016.
We have that many actually?
Yes, in fact what we have now is
You remember when the president brought in those ambulances and paraded them at the McCarthy Square, and after a short while, they were turning into derelict vehicles all over the country.
I think currently what we have as a policy is community ambulances. You go to most villages now across in the provinces, there's ambulance station there to serve the people. That's what we are doing. So imagine for 60 years, we had only 60 ambulance. We have an ambulance stock is 60, now we have 170. So I think that's a huge process. So why this is important is that, to give it some context, it means the Gambia is progressing. If you look at the data, if Gambia was retrogressing, we should have been going back. But in terms of water expansion, we've progressed. In terms of access to electricity, access to education, access to healthcare, access to new roads, these are all progress. In terms of even security, recently we've been named the safest country in West Africa and the 4th safest in the continent.
Congratulations.
Stability, democracy, all this happening at the same time. So I think Gambia is progressing. Gambians are better off today than they were 15, 20 years ago in terms of their well-being, in terms of their happiness, in terms of their safety, in terms of them accessing basic services like healthcare, education, in terms of this morning when I was driving to work around 7:30, 7:45, I saw congestion at every roundabout, and I thought the president has vision. Why didn't he build this 6-lane, which will be extended to almost 10 lane in a couple of months, this road? What would happen? If we have this 6-lane and the flyovers, and yet there is so much congestion at roundabouts, imagine if these roads were not built. What would happen? We wouldn't get to work. It will take us 3 hours to get to work. That is vision. I saw the line was long, going down to west to traffic light, the roundabout there. And imagine if it was that single lane that was still there. What would happen? It will take 3 hours to get to work. That is vision. And what this road has done, it has reduced wear and tear.
Because you've built this good road, all traffic has now diverted to this road. The other shorter, quicker routes that were being used in the past are not being used anymore. Maybe that's the explanation for the congestion.
No. In fact, we build more routes. Go to Bijilo. I can leave here and go to Brikama without taking this highway, and I'll reach Brikama, and I won't go through any dirt road.
Really?
All these feeder roads have been built, and Ajay is shaking. He's nodding and agree with me.
Ajay, by the way, is the sound technician.
And I've seen people who were in the diaspora constantly criticizing the government. When they come for it, they say, Tonya, digga. Let's give him that. He's built roads. The road connectivity today is...
Borrow the road builder.
But road is the basis for any development. Once you build roads, people have confidence in the country. People can bring. Currently, I've seen cars in this country that are so expensive that I'm thinking, are these cars really driving road in the
Come on,
Gambia?
yeah, Jammeh had cars that you marveled at when you saw
But
them.
it's their Jammeh's cars now. It's this and now. Even anybody has.
There are cars in
nice
this.
cars.
There are cars in this country.
No, but it's confidence people have in this country. Now, also I'm thinking, these new roads are reducing wear and tear, are reducing travel time, are also making people access where they want to go to and save time. When you save time, you save money. So it's good.
Okay.